What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Next Level Athletics Sports Training Podcast. I'm your host, Josh. I guess I'm your co-host, Josh.
You missed you. Why will I have to be co-host?
I was used to saying it so much on all the other podcasts, and now, well, you got to introduce yourself now.
Yeah, I'm the other co-host, Ryan Nelson.
All right, off to a good start. Hope everybody is doing fantastic. We're going to tail off. This is a few days since we recorded our last one, but we're going to tail off of what we were talking about before, branch into another area that we focus on here at Next Level Athletics. We talked about the athletic training side of it. Now we're going to be talking about the military side, and that actually all resides under something that is not technically next level athletics. So I'll let you take that away and explain that one.
Yeah, so as we talked about before, I'm a Marine, and I've been helped by military nonprofits and things like that. I should say help me do stuff with veteran medical stuff and all that kind of stuff, everything. But I wasn't ever really in a position to help people, so I've taken used services, I guess you should say, and when we met with one of our good friends over at Eagle Ops.
Shout out Eagle Ops.
Yeah, they're awesome. Check them out. They helped me. The big part of helping me build what we're getting ready to get into, talk about, is Tactical Motivation Headquarters, or TacMotoHQ for short is what we call it. You can check that out at TacMotoHQ.com, and same thing on Facebook at TacMotoHQ. Basically, we're using the gym to help build a veteran nonprofit where we can focus on providing veterans with a community that's built on a foundation of exercise, recovery, and personal development. Mm-hmm. So in the gym, basically that's what the gym is. Athletes come in and we train them. We make sure if they need recovery, so they get their exercise, get in shape, if they need recovery, and also personal development. Becoming a better person in general as an athlete is a big part of being a better athlete.
Yeah, that's something that we is obviously all about the physical fitness industry. It's shown, and everybody, this is almost universally known, so it's crazy that more people don't take advantage of it, but overall health is increased by physical fitness. Overall well-being in terms of mental and physical is increased. And then, like you were talking about, the community, I think that's a big part that's overlooked, is working out with people is Absolutely. Crazy.
Most people that, side away from, going to the gym and working out all the time is because they don't want to do it by themselves. And if they don't have friends, if they're not fit, they probably don't have a lot of friends who are gym rats, and in there and doing that kind of stuff. So they don't have anybody to go with. All their friends are hanging around, watching games and drinking beer, or whatever the scenario is. Yeah. And especially with veterans, that kind of tends to be when they get out. A lot of them don't have that community, and even if you didn't go to war and you didn't do some of the more intense things, it's a different lifestyle. Mm-hmm. So when you come out, the way you think, the way you operate, just understanding what life was to civilian life is drastically different. Even if it's not that horrible issues that come with war and things that nature.
For sure. It gives you, having that community, having friends gives you motivation because you have accountability. And it's really easy if you're the only one dependent on doing something to say, you know what, I'm good, to step away, like, I don't need to do this today. I get caught in that all the time. But when I have somebody there that's like, hey, we're doing this, it changes everything. And now 100%. It's almost, I'm not forced, but I feel obligated to, which is what you want.
Looking forward to.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
You have your friends like, hey, man, let's go to the gym. You're like, you've been sitting around or whatever you're doing. You're like, yeah, man, that sounds like good. Yeah, let's do that. Just nothing else than to go spend time with your buddies.
Yeah.
And so
Definitely.
We're giving that community where they're able to come here, we train recruits. So one of our good friends is a recruiter here in Broken Arrow.
Yeah.
They bring the poolies in. We train them. We get them ready for boot camp.
Yeah.
They haven't had any poolies. For those of you who don't know what a pulley is someone who's signed up to go into the military, in this case Marine Corps, but they haven't gone to boot camp yet. So they train with their recruiters to get ready to go to boot camp.
Yeah.
They haven't had anyone fail their initial strength test, or IST, if you hear me refer to it later on, their IST since they started coming here.
Yeah.
So they're going to boot camp better equipped to become better Marines.
Yeah, which is just the proof in the pudding that what we're doing is working and it's changing people's perspective in lives and physical fitness, which is awesome. So we have the police training with us, and we've had in the past some vets and active service members train with us. One thing now, the goal as we are building everything is to build the foundation of what could be massive. And
Yes.
that's where all the side of getting more people involved, getting more people here, because if we have that community, communities are contagious, and especially if that community has been through and experienced what you have.
Yeah, and they can bond over that, and having it outside of being in the military is difficult. A lot of people don't know about the nonprofits, until they meet somebody who tells them, hey, have you seen or whatever. So
yeah, I mean, that's one thing Eagle Ops is great at. Shout out Eagle Ops again, is when we go to those things, they connect people with all these other things. I am a patriot, which if you don't know what a patriot is, it means I have never been or served in the military. So with that, like going to these events, it's crazy because we go there and there's always somebody that's like, yeah, I'm not connected with the VA or whatever it may be. And it's like, these are all things that are out there put in place to serve people. So if you can, not just outside of the individual community, but the business community, show and help point people in directions, then everybody's going to have the help that they need.
Yeah, and being a veteran, the disconnect between the new guys, the police, the active service members who are in right now, and the veterans, I mean, they all kind of, well, the police don't have anything. There's no community or whatever of like, hey, you're going in, I know stuff, or you just went, you're in right now doing what I'm doing. Oh, tell me about it. There isn't any of that. And connecting veterans, there's veteran stuff out there, just like Eagle Ops, but there's not a lot of connecting veterans in a community of active duty service members and police, where the veterans can, provide that information, their knowledge, share it with those current guys and the guys going in.
Yeah.
They love sharing that. They love being able to mentor and do all that stuff because they feel like they're back in.
Yeah.
And it's just not really out there.
Yeah.
I mean, not that it doesn't exist, but it's just not. They're not. Each one doesn't exist. They all have their kind of groups, but we're going to be able to bring them all together here, which I'm super excited about.
Yeah, it's going to be an awesome opportunity for us to try to make a little bit of a dent and help out those in the process of it.
It's going to be great. And then for the veterans, whereas the active duty and the guys going in are more towards our, athletic style training, getting in shape, staying in shape, getting better. The veterans do that as well, obviously.
Yes.
But for the ones who are working with the VA, who have issues or knee problems, we all got knees and back problems and all that kind of stuff. So sometimes there's some recovery involved in that.
For sure.
And that's going to be a big focus of TacMoto, is being able to work with the VA to provide recovery-based, PT and things of that nature, along with maybe some things that the VA is currently looking into, but isn't necessarily has it, dotted the I's and crossed the T's on, hominis damas, we're allowing this to be something that we do. Cryotherapy, hyperbaric chamber is a big thing that a lot of studies right now are showing that helps veterans and everything like that with PTSD and sleep and all kinds of stuff.
For sure.
So, we want to build TacMoto where we can provide all of those things that eventually the VA will I'm sure will get into, because, the studies are going that way.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, we can be able to provide it to them when they wouldn't be able to get it otherwise.
For sure.
And going to PT at the VA is an interesting experience. I've done it. It's more, they're trying to make sure that you can move and do everything to the specs that they say, okay, you're not injured or you're whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's not really quality of life per se.
Definitely.
So being able to do PT here with the same PT guy that's also, here when you're doing your training, you're here, because PT is getting you better, but that doesn't mean that while you're doing PT, you can't do kind of things outside of that to make sure your whole body is in a position to support, that whatever that injury is or whatever, get better.
Definitely.
And being a part of that whole process is huge.
Yeah.
They see what you're doing. They know this. Okay, I noticed you were struggling in this. Let's work on this more, or that kind of stuff.
That's one of the biggest things that PT across the board, whether it's with the VA, whether it's with anybody, there's a disconnect between time done with PT because insurance, because money, whatever it may be, because it's expensive, to time back to full health. And PT gets you to the point where if you did stuff, you could get to full health. So they make sure that all of the major concerns are gone. But PT does not help with that middle ground, which we are direct helpers of that middle ground. That is our job on the athlete side and on the older side. The idea is get back to a good functional fitness level that allows you to go through life and like normal
well, that, and not just normal, but better than you may have thought you could. A lot of people, they come in and they're like, oh, I noticed you got a limp, or oh, this going on. Oh yeah, we did PT and it said it would be this way. Well, you get them in and they do a few things and then they're like, oh man, my hip feels great. I haven't been able to move this great in years. It's just because they're looking to make sure you can walk. And once you can do that, then you sign off.
And we want you to run and jump.
We want you to be able to do the things you used to do, which a lot of people don't think it is because their doctors don't tell them that. Exactly. That takes a lot more work. It's a whole other, side of the ball game. They're just trying to get you healed, not necessarily take you back to your youth.
And that's where even outside of PT, just in the training alone, our goal with everybody that we have that comes in here is get you to be able to do the things that you want to do. So if you feel like I'm too old to get into this stuff and I can't manage these things, but we want that because then we can come in it's like, no, it's possible. Like you can get back to where you can go on bike rides, so where you can go rock climb if you want to, all of these things. That's our goal, is to enhance quality of life, because the more things you can do and the more things you feel confident doing, the happier you're going to be.
Oh, 100%. And like, just like me being so excited to be in a position, having a gym where I can help build a nonprofit to give back to other veterans who came before me, the ones who are going to come after me. Like, it's so fulfilling. Just like we talked in previous ones about how training these kids and knowing that you're making their life better is amazing. Specifically for me, being able to help vets. I haven't been through some of the stuff that these guys have gone through. I'm not like, the ultimate Marine or whatever stuff like that. And I haven't been through a lot of the hardships, but that doesn't mean that I don't understand. I mean, I've been through enough to know, a little bit about it. But my part is finding those people who have been through it, who have overcome it, who are doing well, and or find those people who aren't, help them overcome it, get them to the point where they're doing well, and then give them a place where they can give back to their other veterans and help those people through. Help build that community where they feel like they have purpose again. Because even though they come out and they might have a good job and they do all this stuff, it's just not the same, for us. And so having that space is very important.
It's going to be awesome. We're super, super excited about that whole side of stuff. I think we wrap this one up here, move on to the next. This isn't the last you'll hear at all from the military side of things. We'll probably end up having a podcast that's directly for military, and we'll do a lot of interview-based stuff on that. That will be headed up by you, not by me, but the interview process. So that'll wrap up this one. I mean, thank you for listening to the Next Level Athletics Sports Training Podcast. Any final thoughts on your end?
Just go check out our Facebook page and like and share it. Even if you're not a veteran, you may know somebody who sees that and they're like, oh man, I need some help. The more people who know about us, the more people we can help. And you never know who needs that help.
Exactly. Like Eagle Op says, reach one more.
Absolutely.
See ya.